I'd love to know if, because Trump is the president now, so does that mean we have freedom of speech again? Or does that still mean every single time I post a video, I have to appeal it because it gets removed? I have to do every video that I post. Legitimately. Every one of them. You're not eligible for monetization. You got to appeal to the blah, blah. Yeah, no kidding. I haven't been eligible for monetization ever. They've banned me from being able to make money on my videos because, in my opinion, I speak the truth and they don't want you to know it. But I'm wondering now, though, since Trump is in office, is he going to bring back freedom of speech? Or is all of this just an illusion? Because I love how people seriously think that they live in a world with freedom of speech. That is non-existent. The only people that have freedom of speech are the people that keep their speech within the parameters of what we are allowed to talk about. As soon as you start talking outside the parameters, your freedom of speech is gone. So, yeah, if you're somebody that believes in the mainstream narrative, never asks any questions, and just agrees with everything that you're told, then you're going to have plenty of freedom of speech. But when you start to question what's going on around you, yeah, you'll be canceled and deleted. That's not freedom of speech. So I'm just wondering, is Trump going to save us from this or what? Because I have a feeling he isn't. Not going to lie. And I'm not saying that Kamala would have done any different, because it's the same. What I'm saying is neither of them are going to help you. How do I know that? Because, in my opinion, we are being run by the ancient Roman Empire. It never went away. It liquidated into the Vatican, and that's who owns us. We are owned. We have owners, in my opinion, which is why we have maritime admiralty law, which is why money is not backed by currency. It's not backed by anything. It's not backed by gold. How is money valuable in America? Because we are what's valuable. We are. Money is debt related in America. It's tied to debt. That's how money works. But whenever there's debt involved, you need to have some sort of collateral, okay? And we are the collateral for that debt. So America sells bonds to other countries, and the debt collateral is us, because we are worth 1.5 million at birth, because that is what they project we will give back to the government in taxes. That's how money works. So when you realize that we are all slaves, in my opinion. So again, I find it really hard to believe that Trump is going to save us from anything, okay? Neither would have Kamala, and none of them are here for us, period. It's unbelievable that people believe that these government entities are here for us. They throw grenades at you and then offer you Band-Aids. They're not here to help us. They create the chaos because they can get order out of it. Why do you think it says that on the damn dollar bill? I don't know. I guess I didn't always know this stuff, so I'm not giving people a hard time if you don't know it. I'm not giving people a hard time for that. What I am saying, though, is if you're the type of person that's gonna be gifted all of this information and then say, oh, that's crazy, oh, they would never do that, oh, yeah, they would never do that, they have our best interest at heart. Why would they? Ask yourself that. Why would they? When the world used to be run by the kings knew that information is valuable. So they kept the good information for themselves and gave us the shit information, which is what is happening today. The same thing. How obvious does it have to become? We can see the North Star in the same spot every night, but we're traveling millions of miles across a galaxy endlessly every single day, but we see the same backdrop. Wow, that's interesting. Sounds to me like maybe the sky is just a green screen like the rest of what NASA provides for us. It's really is. If you get to a certain amount of knowledge and information, you get to a point where it becomes impossible to believe the mainstream narrative. That's all. And this is just coming from me, my opinion, based on what I know and my experience. I used to believe in the spinning ball theory because school taught us that. And of course how can everyone be lying? It makes no sense. But it makes a lot of sense because the only people lying are the people in charge of the information. It's not everyone's lying. There's plenty of people that aren't lying, but the people in charge are liars. How is that hard to believe? I don't understand why that's hard to believe. You know, I also don't think that people realize how stories, like biblical stories and all these stories, how they were always retained for all of these years across many cultures, because before the printing press, there wasn't copies of books everywhere. People remembered this stuff via stories. They were told stories. That's why the Bible is called the greatest story ever told, because it's a story being passed down. It's a story that embeds real information. So the people that wanted to keep the story alive, because the king would not allow real information, so they had to come up with stories and embed the information inside of the story. So if you knew how to read it properly, you understood what they were trying to tell you. That's how it works. It's not that complicated. It's really quite simple, actually. So it's just sad, man. It's sad that, you know, people are just unwilling to learn. But, you know, someday what's going to happen, in my opinion, because this is what happened to me, is that your belief system, which is dangling by a thread, is going to snap at a certain point. Because belief systems, religions, they are make-believe. And when you do research, you realize that. So the more research you do, the more weight you're putting on that string, and it's gonna snap eventually. And I gotta tell you, if you're not prepared for that, if you don't do the research, and if it's gonna upset you. So you might as well learn and prepare, because that's just the way it goes. Now, that's my opinion. I love you all. You can learn a ton on my website. I've spent years researching, years writing now, and I'm always putting out material. I have a third book coming out called Deception in the Modern World. In my two previous books, one's on symbols, one's on religion. So I love you all. This is my opinion. I always was under the impression that I was allowed to have an opinion, but, you know, maybe I'm not. I don't know. Maybe not everyone's allowed to have an opinion here in America. Pretty sad. But I was always told that I was allowed to have one. But then again, I mean, if you have an opinion that they don't like, usually it ends badly. Anyway, find me at my website. Find me on Telegram. Please find me on YouTube. YouTube censors the crap out of me. With the Sun 33 on YouTube. With the Sun 33 on Telegram. With the Sun 33 on Instagram. The only channels that delete me, the only platform is TikTok. They just delete me. They completely remove my profile after like a week. Every time it happens. I've lost 500,000 plus followers now. So that's a joke. But my other platforms, with the Sun 33, they don't delete my page. They just censor me, and they, you know, them constantly, I can't monetize or do anything. So I love you all. And of course, this is my opinion and for educational purposes only. Thank you all so much.